Imagine this. You're there, and so is the woman you're interested in. But if you're thinking that winning her heart means constantly pursuing her, you've got it backward. Attraction works the other way around. She should be drawn to you, not the other way around. Think of yourself as a magnet. That's the only real approach if you want her to truly desire you. In this video, we're diving into what makes attraction tick and breaking down the key to understanding a woman's mind. Attraction is everything when it comes to dating success. Without knowing how it works, connecting deeply with women will be an uphill battle. Unlike logical decision-making, women's attraction usually comes from emotions. They react instinctively based on how certain people, situations, or behaviors make them feel, and this reaction is often outside their conscious control. Attraction isn't something you can build with a checklist of accomplishments. Instead, it's about embodying certain qualities naturally. Before we go further, it's essential to acknowledge two things. Women don't decide whom they feel drawn to, and they can't force attraction where it doesn't exist. Attraction operates on an emotional, almost subconscious level. So let's look deeper into what makes certain men so compelling to women and learn how you can embody these traits. Men women want. 1. Someone they can't have. Imagine you're at a store, idly scanning the shelves when a shiny, state-of-the-art television catches your eye. You didn't step in to buy anything, you were just killing time. But out of curiosity, you ask the salesperson about the TV. He looks apologetic and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's the last one, and it's sold out." Suddenly, the TV you were merely curious about a minute ago seems like the coolest gadget in the world. When the salesperson later calls you, saying he found an extra piece in the warehouse, but it's a little pricier, you respond enthusiastically, "Heck yeah, I'll take it." What just happened? That TV transformed into a limited edition gadget, something you just had to have. Women's attraction to men works on a similar principle. Guys they can't easily have are like those limited edition products. Unavailability increases their value, making them more attractive. So being the limited edition guy in the dating market is definitely a win. 2. Someone somebody else has. Interestingly, a man who is in a relationship, engaged, or even married instantly becomes more appealing. This might sound counterintuitive, but attraction is a funny game that intensifies when the prize is harder to reach. When a man is already claimed by someone else, his desirability skyrockets, much like the last slice of pizza that everyone wants a bite of. Imagine a guy who is wanted by other girls. He becomes more attractive simply because of that interest. Picture this. You're strolling down the street when you notice a crowd gathering. Intrigued, you edge closer and find them all staring at an ordinary-looking box. There's nothing visually extraordinary about it, yet you're drawn in just like everyone else, wondering what's so fascinating about this box. Similarly, when a man is surrounded by women, he naturally becomes more attractive to other women. It's as though a spotlight has been thrown on him, making others curious. They start to wonder, what's so special about this guy that all these women are hovering around him? This curiosity can be a potent magnet that draws more women toward him. In essence, being popular with women makes you more popular with women. It's the ultimate crowd puller strategy. 3. A man who doesn't do what is expected of him, meaning he is unpredictable. Predictability can lead to monotony, which is why being unpredictable can ignite instant attraction in women. Most men approach women in a transparent and predictable way, wearing their intentions on their sleeves. Often, this predictability causes women to pull away because they have a knack for reading body language and cues. They can make snap judgments about whether they want to continue interacting with someone. Attractive women in particular are used to being approached by average guys. They expect men to react in certain ways, especially after they've made an effort to look appealing. However, when a woman encounters something unique and unpredictable, it can spark instant attraction. Doing the unexpected is the real key to attraction. Imagine being in a conversation with a beautiful woman and saying, "I really like you. You're pretty and have a great personality. Would you date me?" Compare this to saying, "I like you, but I'm not sure if we get along. I don't think you can handle me." The second line is much more likely to pique her curiosity because it's unexpected. It throws her off balance and engages her emotions, making her feel attracted. Being unpredictable is definitely a game changer. Finally, a high-value man. Just as antique items can be sold at astounding prices even if they aren't usable, a high-value man can be incredibly attractive even if he isn't traditionally perfect. Antique items are seen as high value based on the perception of their worth rather than their usability. Similarly, a man can be seen as attractive in a woman's eyes if he is perceived as high value. You might wonder what it means to be a high-value man. Simply put, a woman considers a man high value when she sees him as more important than herself. As long as you maintain this upper hand, you'll be seen as a high-value man. So one might ask, how can you cultivate this high-value man personality? Well, I'll be revealing 4 masculine secrets that will make any woman attracted to you. Number 1. De-idolize women. De-idolizing women is a psychological concept rooted in how we naturally begin idolizing our parents during childhood. We look up to them, often viewing them as beyond human, which shapes how we seek their approval and behave around them. This childhood pattern can later transfer to how some men view women as they mature. Many men, sometimes without realizing it, place women on a similar pedestal, seeking validation and approval, which affects their behavior. In this dynamic, men might act one way around their male friends but change drastically in the presence of women, reflecting a perception of women as needing to be impressed or appeased. This pattern can persist into adulthood and create interactions based on approval-seeking rather than genuine connection. Embracing masculinity, however, involves seeing women as people, complete with their own insecurities, hopes, and flaws, rather than as mysterious, exalted beings. A personal example of this shift comes from working closely with female colleagues, where it becomes evident they experience the same range of emotions, struggles, and vulnerabilities. Recognizing that they're just people allows for authentic communication, which is attractive because it reflects confidence, understanding, and equality. Instead of viewing intimacy as a prize to win or something overly significant, a masculine man accepts it naturally, without assigning it an exaggerated value or attaching expectations to it. Many men delay or idealize physical connection, assuming that a woman may be too pure for immediate intimacy, but this is often rooted in idolization. A mature approach respects boundaries and consent, but it also recognizes that a woman's interest in physical connection isn't a mystical or forbidden concept. It's simply a part of normal, healthy relationships. Masculine energy, rooted in strength and confidence, complements feminine energy, which is typically more nurturing and receptive. In relationships, women are attracted to this strength, not idolization or excessive approval seeking. While popular narratives sometimes challenge traditional gender dynamics, in real-world interactions, women continue to respond positively to authentic masculinity that doesn't depend on approval or validation, but rather on mutual respect and connection. Number 2, remain in control. The next key to masculine confidence is mastering control. Not in a way that controls another person, but rather by creating a stable, comfortable environment for her. For example, if you're out to dinner, being the one who flags down the waiter or suggests a new location if the current place isn't ideal shows leadership. Instead of asking, "Should we stay?" you confidently decide, "Let's go somewhere better." This doesn't mean forcing decisions, but rather stepping up to make things flow smoothly. When it comes to deepening the connection, such as holding her hand or leaning in for a kiss, you take the lead rather than waiting for her to prompt you. Control in this sense is about progressing things naturally, respecting her boundaries but guiding the experience. This demonstrates a sense of leadership and situational confidence that resonates with feminine energy. This concept doesn't mean giving in or idolizing her. It's about managing the interaction, owning the direction, and remaining comfortable within yourself. True masculine control is about balancing leadership with emotional independence, maintaining respect for your values and boundaries, and not letting emotions shift based on her reactions. Number 3, be non-reactive. Another core element of masculinity is developing non-reactivity, meaning you don't allow your emotions to be easily influenced by what a woman says or does. Women by nature experience a complex and often changing flow of emotions. In interactions, this dynamic can sometimes feel like they're testing you, consciously or not, by tossing out comments or expressing emotional turbulence. What they're truly looking for, however, is a strong, stable presence. A man who is like a rock in the face of emotional waves. Take, for instance, when a woman gives you unexpected feedback, like saying accountants are boring. A reactive man might feel offended and immediately defend himself, feeding into the drama. But a non-reactive man might respond with a simple smile and let it pass, avoiding the emotional tug-of-war and instead staying grounded. This steadiness demonstrates the calm strength she's drawn to. The same applies in relationships. If she says something emotionally charged like, "You never help out around here," a non-reactive response isn't to get defensive, but rather to stay calm and address it steadily, reinforcing that you're there as a supportive presence. If she's trying to provoke jealousy, the non-reactive approach is to stay cool, perhaps stating a boundary calmly if needed, but avoiding the emotional back and forth. This grounded response reflects the masculine strength that provides balance, giving her the reassurance and stability she naturally seeks. Number 4, emotional autonomy. The last masculine secret is emotional autonomy. Autonomy itself means being self-governing and independent, often associated with having a purpose, direction, and goals in life. But when it comes to masculinity and attraction, emotional autonomy goes deeper. It involves being able to govern and control your emotions, especially in the presence of a woman, without handing over that control to her or the situation. Many men may feel confident in their independence until they encounter someone they really like. Suddenly, they might find themselves emotionally swayed by small things, like if she doesn't text back right away or if she disagrees with them. This can lead to a loss of control, where they start making decisions driven by emotion rather than purpose. True masculinity, however, is about maintaining control over these emotions. You might feel jealousy, fear, or excitement, but emotional autonomy means that you don't let these feelings dictate your behavior or self-worth. One example is maintaining personal boundaries. Say a man values undistracted time with someone and dislikes when people constantly check their phones. If a woman does this on a date, emotional autonomy is about asserting that boundary calmly, regardless of attraction or fear of losing her interest. This autonomy isn't about disregarding emotions, but about containing them, valuing your principles and acting accordingly. Ultimately, emotional autonomy is foundational to masculinity because it sets the frame for stability and resilience. Women often respond to this stability as it positions a man as a challenge rather than someone who bends to every whim or validation-seeking moment. This steadiness, guided by his own values, is what attracts and keeps a woman interested, presenting him as someone who's not just on a mission, but who is also deeply self-assured. All right, that's it for this video. If you're enjoying this series and want to dive deeper into these concepts, let me know in the comments. Share any challenges you're facing so I can address them in future videos. Also, if you haven't seen the first video yet, make sure to check it out and don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me continue bringing you this content. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remain masculine.